Welcome to today's Explainer. We're looking into a pretty fascinating shift today. We're talking about how to entirely eliminate the exorbitant overhead costs of running a modern content business. Literally, we're going to fundamentally restructure how we look at business expenses, taking what used to cost an absolute fortune and bringing it all the way down to zero.
Over 50,000 rupees. Seriously, when you start adding up traditional paid tools like Adobe Creative Cloud, Grammarly Premium, plus maybe a professional video editor, a copywriter, a researcher, this is what it easily costs every single month just to keep a freelance career afloat. It's a massive, massive barrier to entry.
But here's the core thesis of our explainer today. You can completely replace all of those heavy, expensive legacy tools and freelancers with 10 free AI alternatives. And honestly, the most surprising part, these free tools often do the job better. We're going to categorize them into your new, completely free business departments so we can see exactly how this upgrades your entire workflow. Let's dive in.
Section 1. Upgrading visuals and video. It's time to replace your design team. Okay, this perfectly illustrates the massive shift we're seeing right now. Traditionally, a suite like Adobe Creative Cloud costs around 4,230 rupees every single month, and it comes with this notoriously steep learning curve that takes months to master. Contrast that with the Canva AI of 2026. It's completely free, it runs right in your browser, and it is just effortless to use. And hey, if you think Canva is still just for basic graphics, it is definitely time to take a second look.
Because instead of staring at a blank screen, you just type what you want into Magic Design and boom, it generates a professional layout in seconds. From there, Magic Write handles the built-in copywriting. You can remove backgrounds with a single click, generate entirely new images from text, and then use Magic Resize to instantly adapt that one single design for literally every social platform. A complete beginner is suddenly getting the output of a trained graphic designer in minutes, for free.
Let's pivot to video for a second and see how this builds out your production team. A lot of creators hold back because they think, well, I just can't edit. And hiring a professional video editor, that costs a minimum of 15,000 rupees a month. But with CapCut AI being entirely free on both desktop and mobile, paying that massive monthly editing fee is simply no longer a prerequisite to getting started.
The real crucial shift here is the automation. The AI actively listens to your video to generate incredibly precise captions. It strips out the background without you needing a green screen, automatically cuts your footage to the beat of the music, and even enhances your voice to remove room echo. It literally handles 90% of a traditional editor's job, totally removing the barrier to launching a professional channel right from your bedroom.
Now, what about pitching clients or, putting together webinars? A freelance presentation designer is going to charge you somewhere between 3,000 and 8,000 rupees for a single deck. And we all know how agonizing it is to tweak PowerPoint layouts manually. Gamma AI is free. You type a single sentence in, and it generates a beautifully designed, structurally sound presentation in 30 seconds. You are saving thousands of rupees and hours of frustration on every single pitch.
To wrap up our visual department, let's look at imagery. A stock photo subscription easily runs you 2,500 to 5,000 rupees a month, and it usually just leaves you with generic photos that thousands of other people are already using. Adobe Firefly's free tier gives you 25 generative credits a month. But the real game changer here? Firefly is trained entirely on licensed content. That means you get commercially safe, 100% unique images that exist nowhere else.
Section 2. Mastering Words and Voice. Writing and Audio Tools.
Hiring a professional copywriter in India, that'll run you anywhere from 20,000 to 40,000 rupees a month. Compare that to Claude AI, which is absolutely free. Claude basically acts as this round-the-clock writing partner who never, ever misses a deadline, and it can draft a 2,000-word article in under 3 minutes. When you provide highly specific instructions, like asking for a casual tone with practical tips for freelancers, the output is remarkably human.
So, the crucial point is 20,000. Just let that number sink in for a second. This single free tool saves you a bare minimum of 20,000 rupees every single month. It is a completely transformative way to approach writing your scripts, your newsletters, and your daily emails.
Moving into the audio space, a professional voice artist usually charges around 3,000 to 8,000 rupees per project. But 11 Labs completely changes the math. Their free tier gives you 10,000 characters a month, creating remarkably natural, emotional AI voiceovers, complete with perfect pacing and breathing. It even lets you clone your own voice, which, by the way, is an absolute superpower for running faceless channels or creating multi-language dubs.
And actually, speaking of multi-language content, professional translators charge up to 3,000 rupees per 1,000 words. DeepL gives you 500,000 characters a month for absolutely free. For creators working across diverse languages here in India, this is essential. DeepL translates tone and context far better than those old basic translators because it doesn't just swap out the words, it translates the underlying nuance and meaning, compounding your savings immensely.
Section 3, Research and Business Operations. Let's handle the back end for free. A good freelance research assistant usually costs around 8,000 to 12,000 rupees a month. Perplexity AI is completely free, and it fundamentally changes how you research. Instead of forcing you to sift through 10 blue links on Google, it reads everything for you. It synthesizes direct, sourced, and real-time answers in like 30 seconds. You get the exact same research done much faster, with all the citations instantly attached.
All right, let's talk marketing. Paid email platforms charge 3,000 to 6,000 rupees a month right out of the gate. But MailChimp's free tier now includes AI subject line generators and content suggestions for your first 500 subscribers. Considering email has the highest ROI in marketing, historically returning about 3,600 rupees for every 1 rupee spent, this free tier is absolutely all you need to build your audience for the first 6 to 12 months.
You know, organization is always where costs sneak up on you. Fragmented apps for task management or note-taking can cost you thousands of rupees every month, and half the time, they don't even sync up with each other. Now, what's really interesting here is how Notion replaces a dozen of these fragmented apps by bringing your databases, your project management, and your AI writing assistants into one unified, completely free workspace.
Section 4, the ultimate financial breakdown. Let's go ahead and do the actual math.
When we take a step back and actually look at this list, man, it is undeniably satisfying. From design and video to deep research and operations, every single free tool we've discussed represents a specific, highly paid human task or a really expensive software subscription. By swapping your legacy stack for these AI counterparts, you are adding massive chunks of retained profit directly back into your pocket.
And here is the grand total, 67,730 rupees. That is the final tally, saved every single month. This isn't just a neat little list of websites. It's a look at the true financial liberation these tools offer today. You can genuinely build a professional, high-output business without spending a single rupee on overhead.
Which really brings us to this empowering realization. The biggest beneficiaries of the AI revolution are not the massive corporations. I mean, they already had the big teams and the fancy enterprise software. The true beneficiaries are students, freelancers, and solo creators. A 19-year-old starting today literally has the exact same creative firepower that a mid-sized agency had just 5 years ago.
So I have to ask you, which free AI tool are you going to try first? The technology gap has completely closed, and these tools are just sitting there waiting. It is time to leverage these platforms and completely level the playing field for your own business. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Now get out there and go build something amazing.